Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to draft a short knicker or short pant, whichever way you want to call it, pattern, and these are the tools we'll be using for this tutorial. And of course the measurements we'll be needing for this tutorial are our waist circumference, the hip circumference, the crotch or crouch, the thigh, and the hip depth. So we have a vertical and a horizontal line on our pattern paper. It's just like a template for us to follow while imputing our measurements so that we don't get confused. So basically I'll be using my measurement for this tutorial. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark out all the lines just so we can impute our measurements. So the first line is the hip, and for my waist to my hip is 9. Just go ahead and rule out the line. So the next line is the crotch line, which is 10. Just go ahead and rule out the line. The next line is the full length of the pants. I'm using just 13 inches because I don't want the pants to be long. So I mark 13 inches and then 2 inches for folding allowance. So basically these are all the lines we need. We'll just go ahead and impute our measurements. I'm taking my hip first. My hip is 36 divided by 4 is 9. I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I marked the 9 on the waist and on the crouch line as well, and then connect the points together. So the next one is the thigh. My thigh is 22 divided by 2 is 11. Remember, we are not dividing our thigh by 4. It's only the hip and the waist that we divided by 4. The thigh is by 2. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. So I'm just going to add 2 inches to the measurements because I don't want the pant to be entering my bum bum. That was why I added 2 inches. So I'll just make a sweet curve. You can use your French curve if you have. If you're not so good with freehand, you can use your curve. You make your French curve. So you just make a curve to meet the point, and then whatever you have on the crotch line, you bring it down and mark it on the length of the pants. Mark it. And if you want it a little bit tight on the knee, you can come in by 1 inch, but I want my trouser or pants free. That was why I use the exact thing I got on the crouch line on the length. So the next thing is to divide my waist. My waist is 26 divided by 4 is 6.5. Remember, we are dividing the waist and the hip by 4, not by 2. So I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. then you bring it down to the hip. You see, the next thing is to put our darts. Whatever you have on the waist, you divide it by 2 to get the center of your pants. Then I'll just come down by 3 for the length of our dart. Then you connect the points. You mark 1/2 inch on both sides. And then rule it out to meet the length of the dart. So this is the front part of our pants. You see how simple and easy it is to draft. I'll just go ahead and cut it out because we'll be using it to cut out the back parts. Very easy to draft. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the front parts on the back parts, just so we can cut out the back parts. The only thing we are going to do to the back is to add 1.5 inch to all the measurements we have on the front. So I'm just going to add 1.5 inch to all the measurements. So I'll just go ahead and connect all the marks. You can use your ruler or your French curve. If anyone that is convenient for you, you can use it. So this is our crouch. Yes, we have gotten our crouch. So the next thing I'm going to do is to trace out the back part. Just trace out everything. Okay. The next thing we are going to do, we're just going to go up by 1 inch. 1 inch. You know, the back part and the front part of our pants, they are not equal because of the bum bum is not flat. That is why the back part is usually higher than the front. So that was why we went up by 1 inch. So we're just going to make a slant line and then bring the line to meet the waist. Bring it down just like that. You see how the back is looking? So we just go ahead and add our darts. The same thing we did on the front. You divide whatever you have on your waist by 2 to get the center of your pants, and then you mark it. And this time we are going down by 4, not by 3, because the back darts is usually longer than the front, by 4. And then you connect the point. Then mark 1/2 inch on both sides. And then bring it down to meet So we've gotten our darts. So this is basically our back part. Very easy. Just go ahead and then cut it out. Very easy, right? The only thing we did to the back, we added an extra 1.5 inch, and that was it. We didn't do much. So this is our pattern. In my next video, we are going to use this to cut out our short knicker, because it's not everybody that knows how to fold material or fabric. So we are just going to use, I'm going to keep this, then in my next video we are going to use it to cut our pants. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.